said it once.
I started doing their Ray Charles classes.
There you go. We're gonna blame that on Chris. Uh-oh.
I get all sorts of stories made up for it, so.
Yeah, good evening, I'll call this meeting to order. Please stand and say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Caroline, if we could have a roll call, vote, please, or a roll call.
Mr. Bryla?
Here.
Mrs. Minnie?
Here.
Mr. Platzman?
Here.
Mr. Apple?
Here.
Mrs. Trumbull here.
Okay, I would ask for motion to approve our consent agenda for $683,551.36.
I move to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Bryla?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzman?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Trumbull, yes.
Citizens wishing to address the township board. Hearing none, I would ask for an approval of our agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve our agenda. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I would, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to departmental reports. Mark, Fire Department?
We already had a request from the West Lane Church to use our apparatus bay on November 9th, Saturday morning. We're going to do a food distribution like they've been doing for years. But since they were doing it at Lakeport School, but since they don't have Lakeport School to use, they like a place inside because it's fall and you can't trust the weather. And all this is going to pull the trucks out, pass out some food, a couple hours, and be gone. But I want to get your blessing on that. It's not going to cost us any problem. They're going to clean it up, do all the work. We'll just pull the trucks out.
I guess I'll entertain the
What's
motion.
the date again, Mark?
November 9th, Saturday.
Did you find out what time it is?
I was gonna say, do you have a time?
You didn't know what it is.
It's usually the morning,
It's
isn't
probably
it?
going to be 10 to 12
Well,
by then.
I would think, yeah, I would say late morning, let's put that. So it's usually for a couple hours, they usually get an hour ahead of time to set up, pass out this from the food bank, and then an hour afterwards to clean up, so.
Well, I'll make a motion. Go ahead. Let him use the hall.
Support.
We have a motion and support. Any comments or questions?
You can put it on the sign?
Yep. Yeah, we can do that for distribution. The church advertises, they do all that, you know, it's not, so it's no cost, no project. Yeah, they'll put something in.
Okay. Thank you. Do we need a roll call or just all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
That's all I have, thanks.
Okay. Just while we're on the fire department, you know, we finally did get the contract signed. There was a little disagreement with figures, but I think we've got that all straightened out. I think it isn't going to be a problem, so hopefully. I haven't talked to Jack because I think Jack's been gone someplace.
I thought I got a signed copy of it.
Well, yeah, the contract's all signed, but there was a discrepancy after everything was signed and they paid in full.
Jack said he thought there was a problem. I seen that church on Sunday.
Yeah, so
He said he's talking
anyway.
about, I guess they got it worked out and we actually got another check.
Oh, we have,
Do we have it?
They approved it and it should be done.
Oh, okay,
Because we
okay.
haven't, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, because Jessica had a meeting and, you know,
They
everything
got it
was
all worked
straightened
out,
out, so.
Jack is right, they was.
So we're on the board now till next July, so
Yes.
everything should be fine. Okay, building department, no, you got anything?
No, the CDA approved the building thing there a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's about it.
Okay,
It's pretty quiet. I don't know if you want to say anything else.
Mike was gonna be here tonight, but he had a funeral, he had to go to the funeral home tonight, somebody passed away, so he's not gonna be with us either. The water department, the hydrants, we've got 4 hydrants left to flush, that's all he's got left to do, so that'll be all wrapped up for the fall. Moving on to the library, Jane?
No building problems. The only issue we had come up is, I think the new asphalt had only been there for, it had the lines on it for maybe 1 or 2 days, and we had someone using it as a parking lot over by the store, so I took out the same notice we've used in the past and put on their windshield, and they haven't been back. But it wasn't anybody from the store, but it was just somebody who thought we would be good all-day parking.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. Is that all?
Mhm.
While we're on the subject of the library, if anybody's been over there to take a look at it, I think other than 5 or 6 shrubs along the north side of the building, I think that project is wrapped up, except, I used to love that when my guys would say, yeah, everything's done except. Anyway, the floor is gonna be resanded, and we're gonna lightly stain it and refinish it again, because there's some really high spots and low spots in it that really just wasn't up to stuff. So he's gonna go in there and sand it again lightly. I'm gonna be more involved in that this time to make sure that they get the right stain and stuff put on it and varnish it.
Actually, I should say something about the cupboard that we use for library supplies too. Those doors still don't close quite right, and I noticed the other day when I was in there, whatever he had used, whatever piece of wood he had used to try and to create sort of a center for them, apparently has pulled away, because there were little like nails, little like finishing nails just kind of sticking out.
Did he I asked him to put a jamb in there, something that could be, they could put a removable jamb in case you wanted to get something wider in there, but put a removable jamb to try to hold those doors tight. I don't know why it would, that it doesn't indicate to me that building should be moved around, but, the way those doors are. And so what I had him do is did he do that? I never even know, because they're always locked when I'm there, so I can't tell whether it's done or not. But what I asked him to do is put like a 2x4 down and put a latch, so when those doors latch, that they're not gonna move around.
Yeah, there are, the way he had it working, and I didn't see anything different in this, is that there are holes in the floor and in the ceiling, and blocks that slide up into them.
Yeah. Are you using those all the time?
But they don't line up all the time. I mean, you can't.
You need to push the door a little bit one way or the other to get it lined up. I don't know. I don't really know what the problem is there. I don't know why.
Yeah, those up there, it particularly does not seem to stay where it should.
Well, yeah.
Even if you're there at all when the library's open, there is a key to that in the cash box for the library, so it wouldn't have to be me or Michelle who let you in, the other two could do it.
I'll stop over there and take a look at it and see if there's something that we can do for it. But anyway, I'd like to thank Al for all his hard work over there. He really put in some time. He donated a lot of the work that went in over there. And he kind of arranged to get the whole thing done. We got the parking lots done, got everything. All our drainage, the drainage is a lot better there now. I don't know, have you noticed, Jane? I mean, the drainage is a lot better, or? I've been down there and I don't see water laying there like it did before, so.
Not to the degree it did before. I guess I have some concerns toward the south part now, where they put when they put the seal coat or whatever that was that they put over the asphalt, I think they raised it, and you wouldn't think that something that thin would do it, but I do think they may have raised around the south manhole, one closest to the bank, just enough that one may be going to be a little bit of a problem. The water does sort of circle it without draining into it, but.
The only place I noticed the problem was where somebody moved the barrels and decided to drive on it before it was hardened. And there's some tire tracks there that water's laying in, there's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, no, that isn't where, it's down at where it's the
Towards the
manhole
south.
now toward the bank drive-through.
Well, there was a real fine
It is-
line there to get that thing to flow anyway from where it was going, wasn't it, Al? It was within what, 3/4 of an inch,
Yeah, it was-
half an inch?
Yeah,
You know, to get it
it's
to
not a
flow.
big puddle like we used to have by the door. It's not something that
We
requires.
should eliminate
great-
that ice pond out in front there by the handicap exit.
Yeah, it will be
Yeah,
nice to
we'll
not
work
think we
together.
should be issuing waivers rather than books, but. No, I don't think it'll be a big problem, but it is just enough that that the water sits, just small amounts of water, just sort of ring that manhole without really pouring into it now.
There's none.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on it as the winter, as the
You know, I mean, if
the
we're.
bad weather comes.
Potholes in it.
Okay, moving on to unfinished business, chapel restoration. Who would like to address that?
I will. Jim's gone away for a week or so. Gary was over there today and is gonna keep an eye on it if you're out and about. I haven't been in there, so I can't tell you exactly what it looks like, except that the walls are down and they're tearing apart. But one of the things that Gary and Jim talked about was they looked around outside. And there's some peeling and some raising, and there's also hornets that have been drilling in there, so they're going to fill those with putty, sand them, and spot them, you know, paint them. And they both said that maybe we should look at putting in the budget to have it repainted, because
Yeah, that's one.
that's been a long, I mean, you were still working the last
Well,
time it was
that's
painted.
been almost 8 years ago.
I was gonna say it's about 8 years.
Yeah.
It's been 8 years ago.
It's held up well for it.
It has.
And it needs to be put on the schedule to do next spring or next, make sure in the season anyway.
And that was their suggestion, and Gary said, well, if you want to talk about it, you can, or I'll go. I said, no, we can talk about it.
Do those hornet holes need to be sprayed before they plug them?
Well, yeah, they will, but they're gonna,
Well, I meant, do we need to have the guy come and spray the building again, is what I was wondering.
But we do have that spray now, or do we have that spray?
no,
That's-
I don't think we had it sprayed
Not
this
this
year.
year.
Oh,
It really won't matter.
Anymore
If it
now?
stays cold. Well, I mean,
No, they'll be
I
gone
don't know if
anyway.
that works.
Not now.
But if they're inside the building, the wood already?
Well, if you get a freeze, they'll be gone anyway, so you
We
don't
can
worry
spray.
about it.
Well, what you're gonna do
Gary's got
is plug them in there.
Can of spray and.
Well, that's something we might want to look at next, if we, when we get it all painted up, get it
Okay.
done, then we might want to,
Yeah,
we
right.
might want to
Okay.
spray it. huh?
No,
No, it's too
no,
late-
and
too late this
he
year.
said next year. And the other thing is, the pews that were donated have been cut off and the ends on, and so when they had them, before they started tearing it apart, they had them all lined up, and he said it actually looked like a real church.
Well, I was in there and they've really done a nice job of cutting it out. I mean, it's, they took it apart, so should be a big change here in the next couple of weeks. And, we gotta get it wired now. We're gonna, we got it down that far, we're gonna rewire it, just be ashamed to redo what's there with the old wire in it and have it burned down
Yeah.
after we got it all done, so it is gonna be rewired.
Are they gonna do that, this week?
Well, Gary said that they only had one bid and that Jim was waiting for two
He's
others.
waiting for another.
Are they coming
He
here?
has two,
Oh, he
but
has two now?
according to Mike this morning,
Yeah, he did, he had
He has
two,
two.
he had two on the inside of the chapel,
right,
and one on lighting that flagpole.
Oh, he did get one on that?
He had one bid.
Okay.
but he's gonna
And
look.
the contractor that did it said he'd do it for cost, whatever it costed to do it, so.
Okay, well,
Well,
my
I know John
question,
can't do another thing till electricity is, until wiring is done.
Yeah, they gotta go in there and wire it now, so.
and my question to Gary was,
They'll knock that wiring out in a day, won't they?
But you gotta decide who you're gonna go with.
I think.
are we gonna wait till Jim gets back in 10 days?
You don't have
Or
to.
Well, I think.
if you've got them, make a decision.
Ainsworth did it, and so did
Stevens?
Stevenson Electric.
Yeah, either one.
And I don't know whether he got a price from Dennis Olds or not.
Yeah, he's still waiting on that.
I think he's waiting on that price.
Well, since the Chapel Restoration Society is paying for it, we don't have to make a decision on that.
No, that's
so-
their,
That
that
would be-
is their decision,
Yeah,
that's
special
not
meeting
our
could be called
decision.
or whatever.
If we decide we need to bring it up, I guess the question is of whether we want to spend the money and light that flagpole over there on this side of the cemetery, then that's going to be our baby. But I'll pass this along. The Restoration Society, they're going to work on trying to pay for half of it, so, if they're going to pay for half of it and we pick up half of it, I think it'd be a good plus to have that flagpole lit over there.
And they're volunteering to paint it too.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is,
But we're not gonna do anything on it until we get to see where the prices are.
Mhm.
We've raised $20,500, which is what we're working on now. Township hasn't had to pay anything, basically.
They're doing a wonderful job over
Yeah,
there. They have done a
That's
great
right,
job.
worked very hard. A lot of cookie sales.
Okay,
It's a
thank
lot of
you.
work.
Ball games.
The old township renovation, I guess we've already discussed that, what's left to do over there.
Pretty much, yeah.
New business, resolutions, authorizing the preparation of plans for cost estimates for the special assessments for curbside refuse, recycling, and yard waste. We have two resolutions. Do we need to read these, or
No, I don't believe so.
would anybody like them read? Okay.
Well, the first one, you could read the title, is the resolution authorizing cost estimates for residential solid, you already did, right?
Yeah.
Solid waste
Yeah.
residential recycling and yard waste disposal.
Yeah.
What's the second resolution for?
The second
Is
resolution.
intent
I know
to,
it says here, but. What's a
Resolution of
special
intent to
assessment?
create
intent to create a special assessment
assessment district.
district.
What's a special assessment district?
That's where we set up how we're gonna pay for it.
Oh, okay.
You know, that's where each.
The residential properties.
Each residential
Oh.
property will have an assessment against it. And I guess this isn't the place to do that, because down the road, we're gonna have public hearings on it. So rather than even open it up for any comments now, but I would just say, I think it's a good thing. It's a discounted service that the township will get, that residents are gonna save $60 to $70, approximately $60 to $70 a year, you know, if the whole township decides to go ahead with the project. And, you know, and it's a discounted service for, for 5 years, you know. And they freeze the rates for 5 years, so you know what you're gonna pay right up front. So for 5 years, it's gonna be discounted, you know, quite a bit. So I guess, you know, we'll leave it at that, and I guess what we need to do is vote on resolution 2013-10, 21.2. And that resolution is to,
Don't you want?
We have to do one first,
You have
don't
to do
we?
one first.
oh, okay, I thought 2 was now.
No,
Okay, I'm sorry.
that's
Resolution
okay.
number 213-01-21-1. You know,
And that's authorizing preparation of plans and cost estimates.
cost estimates to go ahead with the project.
Mhm.
So would somebody care to make a motion?
I will make that motion. We can't have public hearings if we don't have the
Right,
Info.
the resolution, that's right.
the resolutions, so.
I'll second it. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote.
Okay, Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Bartlett?
No.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Motion carries. The next is resolution 2013-10, 21.2, and that's resolution intent to create a special assessment district. Would anybody care to make a motion to?
I'll make that motion. We adopt
We have a motion.
21.2, whatever we're doing here.
I didn't hear what you said. You made a
What was
motion.
it, Joey? You did-
21.2, right?
Okay,
Right,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, okay, for 21.2. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any questions or concerns? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Bartlett?
No.
Mr. Apple?
Yes,
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
motion carries. Now, what will happen with this is we will set up public hearings. The card, there will be a mailing that will go out, and they have to be out within 10 days. And we're going to have the special hearing at our next regular board meeting.
In December,
In
the
December.
first. There has to be two.
Yeah, that'll be the first public hearing, there has to be 2 public hearings. And it'll be, we'll put it on the website, we'll get it, you know.
And there will be, again, a postcard with all the information on it sent out to every parcel that this involves. It would be only residential parcels, not commercial or agricultural.
So what happens after the 5 years?
Well, then we
Then
do
you
the-
negotiate.
we negotiate the contract. You know, that's what all municipalities do, you know. with
That's
their-
what the county's going through as first vehicle.
That's what?
That's what the county's going through as first vehicle. They jack the price right up on this, boom.
Well, that's, you know, that's,
It's competitive right now. We were talking with one of the companies today, and they're undercutting each other right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. A lot of townships are doing it, it's kind of good and bad things for us too, to work on counties, bad thing, not too many trucks.
well, you know, I think we owe it to the people to put it out there. It's a discounted service. You know, it's a discounted service. People are gonna save money. They're gonna save, you know, like I said, maybe $60, $70, you know, $70 a year, you know, put it in their pocket, you know. And another thing it stops these contractors. I mean, we have garbage trucks in this township 5 days a week, pounding the roads, beating the roads up and down, and I just think that, you know, we get a day, I mean, if they take Wednesday or Monday or Tuesday, whatever day is our day for our township, they're in here, and they're gone, you know. We don't have to put up with the beating the roads up and everything else, so, you know, myself, I think it's a win-win situation for the people, if they want it. If they don't want it, that's fine too. You know, it isn't something we're jamming down somebody's throat. You know, that's why we're gonna have the public hearings and let everybody vent what they think should happen, you know. But I think it's a start. I think most townships, you know, and I go to a lot of supervisors gatherings, and townships that have it love it. You know, why didn't we have this 10 years ago, you know? So, and that's what I get from most of the supervisors. I haven't heard any of them speak negative about it. You know, so, we'll see where it goes. Moving on. Supervisors report. Supervisors said enough. We're going to go on to the clerk's report.
Well, actually, I've said everything I need to say too, so I don't have anything to add.
Okay, Jody, treasurer report?
The state each tax year requires that the municipality collecting taxes on one day of the last week that you're collecting taxes be open till 5 o'clock. So we decided we're going to stay open until 5 o'clock on the 30th of December.
You know why we are on that, the supervisor does have something else to say.
Good.
And I think we need to bring this up, and it was brought up to me by the staff, that this holiday, the holiday weekends, I'm going to have to give, let me.
Are we talking Christmas?
Christmas,
Is that a Wednesday?
okay, what was proposed is that they work Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve and take Wednesday, when's Christmas? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Wednesday.
And they take Thursday and Friday off instead of working on Christmas Eve, you know, or.
Wait a minute.
They get Christmas Eve off.
Mhm.
So what they proposed is that they work Christmas Eve and take the Thursday after Christmas off, and then give Thursday and Friday. That's something that needs to be said. I said I'd bring it up at the board meeting and see where it goes.
So you're really just trading the
You're trading-
24th for the 26th?
Yeah, you're trading days, you know. You're trading one day off for the other day off, and what it does is, I don't know that people are gonna come in the day after Christmas anyway for, you know, but that's something for the board to decide, you know. I personally, I would make a motion that, I don't see anything wrong with doing that. I would make a motion that they exchange Wednesday for, I guess, I should need a calendar.
Wednesday is
Sure.
Christmas Day, so it would be Tuesday.
Tuesday, so they work Tuesday, and if Wednesday be Christmas, and they'd have Thursday, and of course, we're closed on Friday anyway, so. I would make a motion that would be acceptable to me.
I'll support that, but you might want to consider maybe closing the office at 3 on Christmas Eve or something, or?
Well, that's in addition to, I mean, they're
With
not
that,
getting
I mean-
paid
Well,
for that.
who's gonna be coming here Christmas Eve?
4:30 on Christmas Eve.
I don't know. Do they want to sacrifice a couple hour and a half a day? I mean, it's.
If they want. I'm not opposed to it, that's all.
Mhm.
Whatever you want to do. So that's for your motion, the way it is. Just another suggestion.
Well, that's something we could take care of at a later date, right? You know?
We can take it up again, way after.
We can take it up at our
in
next board
December,
meeting
Or in November.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
in November.
We have 2 months, we can worry about
But
it.
anyway, well, I guess like, we got a motion on the floor. So I guess the motion is to substitute
That works out for,
Tuesday, they're gonna work Tuesday, Christmas Eve, and take the day after Christmas off. Which would be
the 30th must be Monday then, Jody?
It is.
Okay. Yeah, so it won't be an issue.
Okay, so what they have, I thought, for New Year's Eve, isn't that a half a day on?
No, it's the same,
It's a full day?
same.
Yeah, it's there.
Full day.
When did we change? Okay, we've changed that.
We did that after they changed the treasurer's thing.
Okay,
So, if we have a motion on the floor, do we need a roll call vote for that?
you don't have a second yet.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay. Have we had our discussion, or is there anybody else? to discuss?
Probably wouldn't hurt since it involves payroll, so that's money, so it probably wouldn't hurt to have a roll call vote.
Okay, I would ask for a roll call vote.
Okay, Mr. Apple.
Yes.
Mr. Brylon.
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie.
Yes.
Mr. Platzer.
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Motion carries. Now, to the trustees' report. Jody, do you have anything else on your treasurer's report? I'm sorry that I...
You took up all my time.
I'm sorry, but I'll relinquish my time to
No,
you now, though.
fine, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, or Cindy?
Just, have we set a date for the, putting the bench up? On
The
bike
bench
path.
on the bike path?
Mhm.
I'll talk that over with Dusty tomorrow when he gets back. No, I have not set a date
Okay.
to do that. My
That's it.
personal thought about it
Yeah,
is spring coming, I wouldn't worry about it till spring now, but
okay.
I mean, I'll do whatever you guys want. You direct me to get it in there now, I'll put it in there now. Well, let me discuss it with Dusty. It's not
Depends
much,
on if we get
it's
snow.
not much
this
to
week.
put it in there, it's a couple of clamps and 4 bolts to
Say that.
run it around.
We're not talking about it, like I said, depends on if we get snow this week.
Yeah, we have somebody who knock it over again before anybody sits on it, that's what I worry
I
about. so.
know. Mhm.
But I will check on that, Cindy.
Okay.
No?
I have nothing else.
Okay, extended public comment, do we have any?
Did the bench in the park get taken care of?
We're trying to find, that bench, all we need to do is take those things off if we can find, we're looking to replace the boards and stuff.
All the
that are on it.
boards, okay.
Yeah, rather than, go through the process of taking all that steel out of there and putting another bench in there. I think Dusty thought that we could, if we can find the board panels, that we could just buy the boards and put them
Yeah, I
back
think
on.
you saw, probably Lowe's or something.
Huh?
Lowe's.
Well,
Another
yeah. Well, those are composite.
Yeah, those are
Those
composite.
are composite benches. And I might check with the people that do our benches on the bike path, see if maybe they can make us a couple, to do that. So, but no, that hasn't been forgotten, it just hasn't gotten done yet. Okay, anyone else? Okay, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to adjourn, we have support. All in favor? Aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.